If you have ever struggled to get all of the pages of a book block lined up and secured for gluing, you can appreciate the value of a bookbinding jig. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a very simple bookbinding jig that can be set up without requiring any woodworking skills or special tools. If you're just getting started with bookbinding, a tabletop bookbinding jig will make the entire process much easier and more enjoyable without having to make any major investments of time or money in equipment. The primary functions of a bookbinding jig are pretty simple. It just has to square up the pages of your book block and then compress and hold everything in place while you glue the spine edge and let everything dry. To create a tabletop bookbinding jig, you just need a few basic supplies. You'll need a 1" by 2" board that's about 4 feet long. Poplar is a good option here. It's sturdy, moderately priced, and pretty easy to find. You're also going to need a second 1" by 2" board that's about 2 feet long. Now, the exact dimensions of this wood are not critical, so if you're dealing with metric measurements or if you're just looking to find wood in your scrap pile, it's okay. As you'll see in a minute, one of the pieces of wood that I use in the demonstration is a 1x4. I was just using scrap lumber that I had in my shed, so don't stress over that. You'll also need 4 adjustable clamps and a table that has a straight edge that overhangs the base enough on the sides to secure the clamps. These are the supplies that I have on hand, and you can see that 1x4" board in the back. Nothing special. The first step in the process is to align the backstop board. So take a sheet of paper that's the same size as your book block and place it on the end of your table and position it so that it hangs off the edge just a little bit. About 1/4 inch is good. Once the paper is in place, align the backstop board so that it touches the back of the paper and then extends to the sides of the table. Use 2 of the clamps to secure the ends of the backstop board firmly to the table. Now I have 2 C-clamps and 2 quick-release clamps, and since this board doesn't move during the bookbinding process, I use the C-clamps to secure it because they take longer to tighten down. Now the jig is ready to use. Just jog your pages together in your book block and push them up against the backstop. If you plan to glue a cover on at the same time, you can place it at the top or the bottom of the stack. Now, I recommend putting it at the top. You'll have to hold it out of the way while you're putting the glue on, but then gravity will keep it in place while the glue is setting up, and that can take a while if you use PVA glues. Use the shorter press board and place it over the top of the book block and line it up with the edge of the table. Again, you don't have to be super precise with this alignment, just as long as there's enough of the book spine exposed and accessible for applying the glue. Use the remaining 2 clamps to hold everything firmly in place. Put the clamps just off to the edges, just off the sides of the book block, so that way you'll have complete access to the entire spine during the gluing process. And now, with everything firmly in place and with the spine edge compressed, apply your glue, wait for it to dry, release the clamps, and you're done. Now, if you plan to bind a lot of books, I do recommend building a dedicated jig. There is a detailed tutorial available for free on the DIYbookbinding.com website that will show you how to build a jig using nothing but simple tools and inexpensive materials. I highly recommend it. That's what I use. But a tabletop jig is a great way to get started, and it is way less frustrating than the paint stirring sticks and binder clamps that I used on my first bookbinding project. Now, if you found this video helpful, please click the like button and share it with a friend. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. There will be more videos coming, and you can visit us on our Facebook page or the website DIYbookbinding.com. Thanks for watching.